Hello, hi there Capricorns. I do hope that you are all gorgeous and well, and welcome to my channel. Most people know me as Bella the Secret Psychic, and this is your love horoscope for May 2019. And if you'd like to know more about me and my services, all the links are just down below. And shall we just crack on and get straight into your reading? Very interestingly, yours feels very similar to the Sagittarius one, and I would say if you are a Capricorn that is near the cusp of Sagittarius, that you might want to look at Sagittarius as well, because it could apply to you just because you're on the cusp. Other than that, this is how your month plays out. And my guides are reminding me that you still have Saturn in your chart until we get to the end of the year. And you know how, firstly, it's your ruling planet, so it wants the best for you. It wants you to keep you on path in your journey this year for your own personal development, particularly around your careers. But, and also I think with the dynamics of how you choose lovers or how you interact with lovers, that you are stronger and not distracted by them, which seems to be a theme, I have to say, when it comes to some Capricorns. But in this month, I have to say there is an element of somebody in your love life trying very, very, very much to I don't know, they're just difficult. They're just difficult in small and big ways. So for some of you, it will be that they are just not consistent at this time. So you could be newly dating somebody who promises to see you on a Sunday, then changes their mind, then says, I'll see you Thursday, then changes their mind, and eventually you see them on the Friday. Then they promise you that they'll see you and they'll get better at not promising and then delivering, but they can't help themselves, they still keep doing it. Or you're with somebody who lies a lot, doesn't completely tell you the truth about things, about their whereabouts and what they're doing. You feel quite, I get a lot of you feeling like you don't know what's going on, like because they're not communicating things to you or they're being indifferent. I get some of you not even sure you're even in a relationship, and it depends on whether you're newly with somebody or not, or whether somebody's come back or whether you're married. It really just depends. But overall, I get you guys not being able to help but look at what seems to be bugging you in the relationship that you are having with somebody in this month, then being able to focus on what is working. So in that example I just gave you, in terms of they keep changing the date, when you see them on the Friday, it's wonderful, it's great, you get on, it's fabulous. And that's the confusion because then when they keep letting you down or are inconsistent, maybe don't call you so much, that little small thing, it seems to be overriding the good that they are doing, because for you it's distracting you. Hence the whole Saturn thing. It's bothering you because you, as an earth sign, don't like to be ungrounded, and it feels that this person, whether they mean to do this or not, they are ungrounding you because of them being, in small or big ways, inconsistent. And if you allow it to bug you, it will distract you from other things that Saturn is trying to teach you. But also, I guess, when it comes to your love life, that Saturn's asking what you're going to do about it. If it's bothering you, what are you going to do about it? And I think that if some of you have been having this very similar experience for maybe the past year, when you either in your current relationship or every time you meet somebody new, then with greatest respect, Capricorns, there's something you're not learning. There's something that you are repeating cycles in, that if you're still repeating it even now, it's because you're not learning, you're not doing something different for this to be continuing to happen. And this is why Saturn can be quite tough with its lessons, because it will just keep doing it, and sometimes will make it even worse until you finally get the message. So basically, it's quite so hard, because I want to say to you, some Capricorns may find that this is bothersome enough that you may no longer want to pursue the relationship anymore. And I say some of you because where Saturn's trying to teach you a lesson, some of you may ignore that and, I don't know, try to talk to the person, try to come to some sort of understanding. I don't know, I get the feeling it's not necessarily going to completely improve. I don't know. I feel bugged in the same way that you will feel bothered and bugged by this person's energy, because it's because of the confusion between the small things that they do to annoy you versus the great things they do that feel amazing. And it's harder to justify breaking up with somebody over some petty things, but these petty things are really niggling you, particularly if you've said to that person, I really don't like it when you make plans with me and then break it, and they say, oh, I totally understand, I won't do it again, and then they do it but they didn't mean to. It's a bit like, you know, like when you know somebody who's always late and you say to them, please be on time because this is really important, and they're like, yeah, I will, absolutely will, I'll set my clock for an hour earlier, and they're still late, and not just like a little bit, like a lot late. That will niggle any of us who have that OCD about being on time. Do you know what I mean? It's in contrast, and I think this is the element of it, is that there is an element of a mismatch in terms of, like, it's almost like Saturn is saying to you, why are you accepting, even with the greatness of what they do, that they are not compatible necessarily as a whole in the core things that you need. The thing is, when I do these readings, I want to try and see a way to be able to resolve it other than people walking away. One could say you could try to ignore this, but I just don't think that that's going to be possible, Capricorns. because it affects your plans. Do you get me? And it affects your other stuff in your life that you're supposed to be progressing with. When somebody is inconsistent or lets you down or doesn't communicate for 4 days and leaves you sitting there worried about it, I could say to you, well, just ignore them and just get on with your own thing and hear from them when you want. But the truth of the matter is, if that's not you in your core being, and you need to be with somebody who is on time, consistent, then those are questions that you really need to answer, despite how wonderful they are. Otherwise, does that really override the everyday stuff that bugs you? I don't know, I don't want to poo in your party, Capricorns, but I don't know, I just get this, I just feel like, literally my guides are doing it, I feel like you're being pinched into change. You're being pinched. And, you know, imagine pinching yourself, or somebody pinching you really, really hard. How long are you going to allow them to pinch until it becomes really discomforting and leaves a bruise? So I'm asking my guides about whether you walking away has to be a permanent thing, and they're saying no, that for some of you, walking away may be that you need to do that in order for the person to really go, oh, I should improve what I'm doing, because I get that they really are into you. That's the dilemma, and I think that you can see that too, other than the things that bug you. I don't know how to put this, but it's basically, there are lessons trying to be taught to you by Saturn around not being in the same connections that you was before, where they are distracting, where they bother your mind, or where you're having to give attention. And particularly if you're a Capricorn that's on the cusp and you're having very similar experience to Sagittarius's, I 100% would say that you should be walking away because Saturn will only make that experience much more difficult, because it's not supposed to last, is what I want to say to you. But I think for others, if you do decide to walk away, I don't think it necessarily has to be a permanent thing, but it maybe needs to be a selfish thing in order for you to be able to focus on yourself, to be able to give them time to reflect. Something needs to change. And I hate to say to people that it should be walking away, but I'm really struggling with alternatives. But if you do have an alternative, definitely write it in the comment box. That will help others. But if you do decide to walk away, it doesn't have to be a permanent thing. Because I do get in the positive that the other person just can't help it a little bit right now. They've got some growing to do, and maybe you having some time out will help them to do that, but it definitely helps you, and this is the most important thing. My guides want what's for your highest good. It's definitely got to be for you and your sanity that things work out better for you. I really hope this makes sense. So that was your love life reading, Capricorns. I do hope that's been helpful, and I will be back again next month with another June reading. Do let me know what you decide to do, and I hope that has been helpful.